So, sir, with that, we come to our final segment of the show.
Yep.
So, in this, we will refer to the internet. So, sir, these are certain questions that Google says are frequently asked about homeopathy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, the first one is a very often asked question: is homeopathic treatment slow?
I would rather say, instead of using the word slow, homeopathy is more thorough.
Thorough, yes.
Now, let me say, now, what is the concept of this flow? People may compare, okay, I have high fever, if the fever comes down, or if my pain goes away. Now, you are removing only the symptoms, but not the disease.
Correct.
Now, in any condition, no, I'm just referring to the acute, for example. These symptoms, when they are removed, the disease will take its own sweet time to clear. No? Suppose let us say that a person comes down with some kind of influenza, viral fever or something. Now, irrespective of whatever treatment you give, you may control some of the symptoms which one feels is very quick. But actually the entire viral fever runs through the 5 days or 7 days course.
Correct.
Which homeopathy can do the same thing in a very similar way, but improvising the general condition of the patient and not causing any absolute no side effects, not leaving the patient with any fatigue or after effects, which we notice in so many other systems of medicine.
Correct, yes.
Right? Yes. It's an observation.
Yes, true, very true.
Yes.
Sir, so the next question.
Yeah.
Do homeopaths believe in surgery?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, homeopathy definitely see, first of all, let us understand what is surgery. Is surgery a purely medical science? No, surgery is a method which can be incorporated with any system of medicine, right? Now, that's one thing, number one. And number two, coming to your specific question, now homeopathy has advantage in treating so many conditions that are so-called surgical cases, right? So, for example, it could be hemorrhoids, that is common, piles, bleeding piles or non-bleeding piles, or it could be a wart, right? Or it could be something like tonsils or adenoids, or it could be like an appendix, right? So, many of these conditions can be effectively and definitely treated and cured with the support of homeopathic medications, right? However, having said, there are certain emergencies. Now, emergency is an area where homeopathy will not come into the fore because that demands a intervention by a surgical method. So, also something like your accidents, fractures and so on, right, which I mentioned. It requires a proper carpentry work, so that only an ortho will be able to deliver. Now, having said that, there are effective medicines that can complement in recovery faster and healing faster and so on, that can augment with the surgical procedure. Yes. Okay. So, in other words, we have an opening for surgery also where it is absolutely necessary from our perspective. Right?
Yes. So, the next question, sir, kind of an important question. Do homeopathy medicines have side effects?
See, if a homeopathic medicine is prescribed according to the principles, according to the laws, according to the preparation of a good quality medicine, I don't think there will be any kind of side effect at all. That is number one. And number two, side effect, because the homeopathic medicines are in such a small manner, what we call as a dynamite. It's in a potency form. It doesn't have any that kind of physiological doses for it to produce any kind of unpleasant effects, or what is called as a side effect.
Okay. So, another interesting question, sir. Are homeopaths qualified doctors?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know why this question came up now after so many years of homeopathy. However, see, no system of medicine can treat a human being unless they know what is normal.
Correct.
So, every system of medicine has to know what is normal of a man. To know a man, one has to study whatever relevant subject, whether it's anatomy, physiology, histology, biochemistry, or so on and so forth. So, all that is an essential. and then they have to know what is disease, and then they have to know how to treat them, right? So, absolutely, not only extra. It's an advantage to homeopathy. They are more holistic, more comprehensive. So now government has strictly made a rule that undergraduate has to be for 4.5 years plus 1 year internship, 5.5 years. And for those who want to study the postgraduate, they have 3 years. It's altogether 8.5 to 9 years, or 5.5 years minimum. So you can be rest assured our homeopathy is well qualified.
Yes. Okay. So another question: do homeopathic medicines have steroids?
Oh yeah, this is a very old question. Neither homeopathy believes in introducing steroid in its own gross manner, right? After all, steroid is a part of a human secretion. One of the endocrine glands secretes. So homeopathic medicine may act through your own healing property to promote natural secretion, but no introduction of. If one introduces, it is not under the homeopathic principles at all.
So, sir, our very last question: is homeopathy suitable for animals?
Absolutely. You want me to give an example? Yes. Because number one, animals are very sensitive, and they don't have any habit like coffee, tea, or alcohol, right? So they are pure, and they don't have a corrupt mind mostly.
Correct. So it's easy.
Advantages. So they receive the homeopathic medicine fast. And I had treated one group in a Goshala, where about many cows were suddenly collapsing and dying. So now we wanted to know what are the causes. An autopsy was done, and they found there was extensive bleeding in the intestines. Now we refer to that. Why did it happen to otherwise a healthy cow? And it was noted some group of hand, foot and mouth, foot and mouth vaccine. It was an adverse reaction on those particular things. So we have a medicine which is a reaction to the vaccine causing bleeding. That was given. It is called Crotalus horroidus, prepared out of a snake venom. And believe it or not, none of the cows died after. My personal experience. So, homeopathy, there is an extensive veterinary homeopathic practice practiced all over the world.
Yes, true, very true. Actually, sir, even I have a pet. He's a Persian cat.
Right.
So even we've given him a lot of medicines, especially with his skin disorders, and they work really beautifully.
Yes,
so
much faster.
Like
also.
you said, much faster also. Yes, and they haven't reoccurred.
Only tricky thing is to identify the
symptoms. Yes.
So if a veterinary doctor says these are the symptoms, then I prescribe.
Correct. So, sir, thank you so much once again for being with us today in our very introductory episode. I'm pretty sure people now have a clearer view of what exactly homeopathy is and how our system of medicine works. So, once again, thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
Thanks, Almani and AYUSH TV.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, that was our very first episode. We will see you in the next episode. Until then, you take care.